Let's see, Jackie. So she's in the courtroom. Mr. Sabulski, if you can start your video and unmute your device. Thank you. All right, this is in the matter of Jacqueline Sabulski versus Barry Sabulski, file number 2019-46484DM. I have Adrian Iddings appearing on behalf of the defendant. Miss Iddings, we are here on a friend of the court show cause. This has been adjourned from April 8th. I know that Mr. Raines is on the other side. And they have not yet zoomed in. We were last here, your client entered a plea of not guilty, and we adjourned it to today to give him an opportunity to meet with you, Miss Iddings. We are receiving payments through Good Life Tattoo. We are not receiving the full monthly obligation. And he also has an order from January 2024 that he's supposed to pay a minimum of $50 a month towards the arrearage. So, Miss Iddings, and the monthly amount is $775. So I don't know if he needs to have an income review or so. Ms. Iddings, how would you like to proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. I had a chance to talk to Mr. Sabulski and go over the numbers with him. Certainly, he understands the severity of being that far in arrears. What I told him is that with a show cause, you're going to be looking to see if he has been failing to pay child support to the best of his ability. He was in an apprenticeship, and so he left one job, and I explained to him that if you leave one job voluntarily making a certain amount of money and take a job making less money, the court doesn't care that you're making less money. You need to make what your prior job was. He understands that. I told him with the amount of arrears that he has, that if he needs to get a second job to start paying that down, he absolutely needs to do that. He told me they finally did do the income withholding order. And I also reminded him that he was supposed to pay an additional $50 a month. What I would ask, Your Honor, is if you would give him a chance, maybe a couple of months to try to pay that down. He is filing his taxes. He believes he's going to have a refund, and that will be hopefully captured by the friend of the court. So there'll at least be an amount paid down initially towards that very large arrearage. So that was my advice to him. I said, if you're looking at this case, you would be, he hasn't paid it to the best of his ability. He owes over $11,000. I just don't want to see him go to jail because they finally are taking some money out for him, and he finally is booking clients. He said for the first time since he started this new profession that he has clients booked out a month and two to come in. So I would ask, Your Honor, that you give him a couple of months to work on that. Get those clients in and start making those payments, and to make sure his taxes are filed so they can capture that refund. So at least Mrs. Sabulski will at least get a lump sum of some portion, and then to come back and see where he's at.
So his arrearage now is $12,333.28. Mr. Sabulski, at some point, the Attorney General's office could charge you with a felony. So it's for your felony, and then they put you in jail until you can pay 20%, and it's a pretty miserable experience. So, Mr. Sabulski, if for some reason we don't capture your taxes, make sure you apply that money you get to your arrearage. And, you know, Ms. Iddings is correct. You need to get a second part-time job. I think also, you know, Ms. Iddings would possibly review to see if you need to have an income review, but whatever it is. So I'm going to adjourn this to June 24 at 8 a.m. And Mr. Sabulski hopefully will have steady payments and payments on the arrearages. So thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. Barry, get working on that, and I will touch base with you soon. Get those taxes filed, like immediately. Okay?
All right.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The matter of Jason Kuritz versus Nora Kuritz, that matter has been adjourned to June 24 at 8 a.m. In the matter of Andrea Hawken versus Eric Zay, file number 2014-40451 DS, that matter has been adjourned to May 20th. All right,
Oh,
Mr. Zay, May
Thank you very
20th
much.
at 8 AM. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And the record will reflect Ms. Hawken was here in person, Mr. Zay is zoomed in. All right.
Thank
In
you.
the matter, thank you. In the matter of Megan Marquis versus Christopher Schudel, file number 2018-45822 DP, that matter has been dismissed. In the matter of David Shorts versus Jessica Shorts, file number 2020-47465, that matter has been adjourned to June 3rd. In the matter of are you Eric, are you Andrew, let me find you, Nelson?
Correct.
All right, this is in the matter of Kayla Bush versus Andrew Nelson, file number 2021-48816. Mr. Nelson, obviously we're receiving payments and everything's going well, so this is going to be dismissed, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. In the matter of Marquetta Martinez versus Abel Mendoza, file number 1998-20548 DP. This is the date time set for show cause in this matter. Mr. Mendoza has an arrearage of $8,171.24. The last payment we received was $300 on February 9th of 24. This is arrearages only. Was he making steady payments monthly before that? February 9th date?
No, he has, excuse me, he hasn't made a payment since 7 of 2023 for that last payment for 300.
Okay, so issue a bench warrant for his arrest for failure to appear. I'll set bond in the amount of $500. Thank you, and let's see. I don't have paperwork on this one. This is in the matter of Shani Tyndall versus William Jarrett Sager, file number 2000-22380 DP.
You don't have paperwork?
No.
Oh. He hasn't made a payment since August. He has an arrears of $9,471.35.
And we have paperwork showing he was served or
Yes.
sent paper. Okay,
Yes, we
and
do.
what's his monthly payment?
His monthly payment is $1,716.
Did somebody maybe put William Tyndall on the paperwork? Is
It
it
might have
file
been
number-
me, probably. 00.
Okay. Yeah. All right,
That'd be
never
me.
mind. So this is in the,
Sorry.
this is file number 2000-22380.
Oh, I
So, in this case, William Sager is supposed to pay $1,716 a month in child support. He has an arrearage of $9,471. Last payment was August 22nd of 2023. He's failed to appear. May issue a bench warrant. And I'm gonna set bond in the amount of 1,500. All right,
Sorry about that, Judge.
it's okay. I looked at the names, not the number. I think I got like a list. Mr. Lewis, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. This is in the matter of Catherine Rink versus Michael Lewis II, file number 2009-34541 DP. Mr. Lewis is ordered to pay $151 a month in child support. As of today's date, he has an arrearage of $10,247.98.
Hello, you cut out.
Okay, well, you're supposed to pay $151 a month and you have an arrearage in the amount of $10,247. The last payment we received was $151 on April 16th of 24. So, Mr. Lewis, you got to start paying down the arrearage too. You know that, right?
I fixed the problem.
You fixed the problem?
Yeah. Well,
What's the problem?
I got, instead of a credit card, I got a different account that has a routing number and everything. So it should come out every 15th and it should be $200. So then I'll be paying more than what's ordered and get those arrears down.
That's perfect. Okay. So, all right, what I'll do is I will set this out to May 20th to make sure that payment comes through. So
Okay.
May 20th, 8 a.m., all right?
Okay, every 15th, 200.
All right, perfect. So we'll be back on the 20th to make sure that happens. Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. In the matter of Brandy Welch versus Butch Welch, file number are you Butch Welch? Why don't you come up to the podium? File number 2017-44791 DM. All right, just stand up at the podium. So, Mr. Welch, we're here on a friend of the court show cause. It states here you're ordered to pay $336 a month in child support. And right now you have an arrearage of $1,904.79, so not huge. The last payment we show we received was November 8th of 2023 in the amount of $169.89. So, Mr. Welch, do you understand that a contempt of court for failure to pay child support can carry up to 45 days in jail on a first offense and 90 on a second?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand it's a crime not to pay your child support as ordered?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you currently employed?
No, ma'am. Actually, I do want to say I am going to pay it all up front, and I'm sorry that I actually brought it to this point. But I haven't seen my daughter in 4 years, and I have a warrant, or I have a court order here that shows that my ex-wife was supposed to.
So I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah,
Here's the
sorry,
deal. This is child support. This is visitation. They're
Yeah.
two entirely separate things.
I know, I've tried to hire 2 lawyers now.
Two
and none-
entirely separate things.
I
So whether or not you're exercising or getting your visitation is something you got to go through the court system for. You start out at front of the court,
I did.
and then you come up to a referee, and then you come up here to me. Child support is entirely different.
I know, and I actually set these up just so that I could actually get to this point.
Okay,
Because
so
no,
do you have the money to pay your?
Yes, today.
Okay, so we don't take checks, is that correct, Ms. Pelham or Ms. Stevenson?
That is correct. It would have to be cash.
I have cash.
You have cash, so and it's $1,905?
I have a lot more.
Okay, so if you want to go down and pay your arrearage, bring the receipt back up,
Okay,
okay?
they're right there. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, and then just bring me the receipt. In the matter of Warren Phillips versus Robert Phillips. File number 2020-47595 Says date, time, set for show cause. Mr. Phillips is not in the courtroom, I don't believe. Mr. Phillips is ordered to pay $483 a month in child support. He has an arrearage of $3,217.50. Last payment we received was $223.68 back on October 3rd of 23. So, Miss Adams, could you call Mr. Raines on this? This is a Raines file. He might be down in Judge Savers.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pass that one. In the matter of Erica Prock versus Todd Prock, file number 23-50931 DM. It doesn't look like I have Todd Prock in the courtroom. Mr. Prock was ordered to appear. Looks like he's supposed to pay $751 a month in child support. As of today's date, his arrearage is $6,438.39. The last payment we had was $50 on April 16th of 24. He did not appear on April 8th and a bench warrant was issued. He came into the front of the court, paid $50 to get rid of the bench warrant. He said he would be in to pay again and never did. All right, so I'm going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest. Failure to appear, and I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,500. Did you hear from or anybody from Mr. Raines? Great. That concludes our front of the court show cause docket, other than Mr. Welch going down and paying, so he should be down there soon. Mr. Philo? Are you Mr. Philo? Why don't you come up to the podium? This is file number 24-2617. It's PHILO.
2617, Judge?
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
code.
Okay.
All right, so this is in file number 24-2617. You're James Allen Philo. So Mr. Philo, on weekends, I get a cup of coffee and I check the jail list, and I noticed you were on the jail list for a jury contempt. So I called the jail and I had them release you, and thank you for showing up. Yep, thank you for showing up this morning. So what I want you to do is go down to the clerk's office, okay? And it's at the end of the hall on the left. They're gonna give you a questionnaire. You can fill it out right there and hand it in. And then this will all be taken care of, okay?
Okay, cool.
All right.
I don't get paid until Thursday, so I can start taking care of it then.
I don't need you to pay anything. You don't owe me anything. It was $100 bond. I'm not worried about that. Okay, I'll quash that. So you just go down there and fill out the paperwork, okay?
Clerk.
Yep, just walk straight down the hall, and right across from the elevator is an office. I'm gonna call her and let her know you're on your way, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. This is Anne Marie. Mr. Philo was picked up this weekend, and he's on his way down, and I'm gonna, he was worried about paying, and I told him I'm flushing the bench warrant. Yeah, he's gonna come down and fill that out for you right now. Yeah, he's on his way to you right now. All right, bye. All right, Mr. Rain, sorry about that. We have Mr. Let me see, who are you on? You're on Mr. Phillips, correct?
I am, Your Honor. I'm also here for Jacqueline Sabulski or Clegg. There was a
Yes.
Yep.
So on that matter, I always start these right at 8 o'clock, and it was an adjournment because income withholding is in place
Okay.
and money is coming out, and then I guess his income tax return. So Miss Iddings took care of that. So that got adjourned to, let me find it here, June 24 at 8 AM.
All right, so we did have an income tax intercept that was applied to the arrearage.
We think we do, but if it isn't, he was ordered to pay it. If he hasn't filed his taxes yet. So I ordered him to, if there's not an intercept, to pay that directly to the front of the court. And then Miss Iddings advised him to get a second job.
Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you, Judge. I was over before Judge Olsaver this morning, so my apologies for
No,
that.
I know. So then this is Phillips. So this is in the matter of Lauren Heidi Marie Farrar versus Robert Lee Phillips, file number 20-47595 DM. There's Mr. Phillips. All right, so Mr. Raines, this is a failure to pay. Mr. Phillips is ordered to pay $483 a month. As of right now, he has a arrearage of $3,217.50. Last payment we received was $223.68 on October 3rd of 2023. And last time we were here, your client entered a plea of not guilty, and we adjourned it to today. So, Mr. Raines.
Your Honor, yes, I had last appeared before you on this matter and requested a short adjournment. As I understood, there may be some issues to further investigate. My understanding, and I think Ms. Stevenson is present, she's been working with my office fairly closely on this, is that my client had requested a 3-year review of child support back in September of 2022. Pursuant to that request, there was a front of the court recommendation to lower child support down to the amount of $345, which would have been, and that's the key phrase, would have been effective September 1, 2022. The other party did file a timely objection on October 17, but I believe, and perhaps Ms. can confirm, that that recommendation somehow was not located by the front of the court until very recently. At any event, the filing of that objection had prevented the entry of a new USCO, which would have lowered the amount of child support to $345. The parties became embroiled in other matters pertaining to parenting time, and there have been referee hearings and, in fact, hearings before Your Honor regarding parenting time, but the issue of child support was not addressed. I have in my possession a copy of a mediation report authored by Mr. Godfrey that does make reference to the this child support history, as I've mentioned, and also what purports to be an agreement that was reached between the parties to be that reduced amount of $345. But unfortunately, we never had a hearing on the objection that was filed by Ms. Farrar. So, Your Honor, by my math, if he were to be entitled to that reduction, that would be over a period of approximately 19 months, and that would reduce his support arrearage by over $2,600, which would leave him somewhere perhaps in the $800 range of an existing arrearage. My client is self-employed. He's beginning some new self-employment work here very shortly, and what I would like, Your Honor, is I was hopeful, frankly, that I would have a hearing date set up with the friend of the court on this issue of the objection filed in 2022 by Mrs. Farrar, but I have not done that yet because we're just really trying to figure out what the procedural history is. So, Judge, given all of that, if Your Honor would be agreeable to another mediation to allow us to see if we could have a friend of the court hearing to address support and address this arrearage issue. It's not going to be a retroactive modification because the objection has been pending now for a year and a half. But if we could have some time in order to get that noticed up, participate in a hearing, that may resolve a substantial amount of this arrearage.
All right. Imagine if your client had made those payments even based on that a lower amount, he would have been very close to have no arrearage. So, at the very least, he needs to make payments, and if he gets an income tax return, he needs to apply that to the arrearage as well. And, I'm, of course, willing to do that, but, are you talking mediation with Godfrey or someone else?
Well, they had participated in mediation with Godfrey. This predated my representation of Mr. Phillips, and it appeared to be, from the written report that he generated, there appeared to be an agreement that he would be paying at this reduced amount, but that was never turned into a court order. So I don't know, based on the nature of relations between the parties today, if the other party would be agreeable at this point to a consent order that would adopt that dating back to September 1 and effectively resolve the support issue. But, I can explore that with her counsel.
All right, so, all right, very good. I'll adjourn this to June 24 at 8 AM. Mr. Phillips, you could have been at least making the minimum payment the last year or so, and then you wouldn't be in this predicament. So I suggest you start making the minimum plus a little extra, get this arrearage paid down, and meet with your attorney to try to do that agreement to get the arrearage reduced. And then we'll see you back on June 24th at 8 AM. All right, thank you, Mr. Raines.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Welch, you want to come on up? All right, and Ms. Stevenson, Mr. Welch came and paid off the arrearage owed.
Okay, Your Honor, I will make record.
I'm sorry?
Okay, I will go ahead and note that.
I mean, did he? I'm asking you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he brought a receipt up. I can go check.
Yep, he's got his receipts. I just was gonna make sure. All right, so Mr. Welch, I'm going to dismiss this. And, it gets confusing to people because they are intertwined, but child support and parenting time are two separate things. And if you had the money to pay this arrearage, you probably have that money to hire an attorney to do a referee hearing.
I have actually hired 2 attorneys and neither one of them have gotten back to me. This
Well,
happened during.
hold
COVID.
on. So if you paid them and they didn't do any work, then that's something, but you don't hire them until you pay them. So I would suggest that you just hire someone local or whatever, pay them and have them do a referee.
Yeah, I had put money into an account that they actually requested me. So it put $1,500 into an account for Matt Raines, and I had emailed him back and forth. And after my second email, I'd never received anything back.
Okay, well, I would reach out or talk to their office, but the route you need to go for that. And like I said, it's completely separate from child support. So go ahead and proceed that way, all right? But your monthly amount is $336, so make sure you make that monthly amount, all right? All right, thank you, Mr. Welch. That concludes our front of the court show.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a Randy Long, but I don't know what he's for. Might be early first. Mr. Long, I have someone who's logged in as Randy Long. What is your name, please? Have someone name the screen name of Randy.
Yeah, I'm Randy
Long.
Long, right here.
Hi, what are you here for?
I was here because I had contempt of court for you. I missed a court hearing back last year. I didn't get the Zoom meeting ID number mailed to me in time, and I tried calling your secretary, but I was unable.
So hold on a second. What's the other party's name?
Catherine Crew.
All right, Miss Adams. I don't show him
Okay,
anywhere
we're
in my
looking.
doc. Yep, hold on, we're gonna look it up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.